Have you ever looked into your dog's eyes and felt like there was something they desperately wanted to tell you, but couldn't? Not a trick, not a command, not a request for food. Something deeper, something hidden, something almost impossible to explain. Because here's a strange mystery. Your dog spends thousands of hours looking at you throughout its life. Thousands. Not at the television, not at the birds outside, not at the neighbors walking by. You, again and again, day after day, year after year, and most of us never stop to ask why. Why does a dog stare into our eyes? What are they looking for? What are they thinking? And why does that look sometimes feel so emotional, almost human? Maybe you've experienced it before. Late at night, the house is quiet, the television is off, the world finally slows down. Your dog is lying nearby. You glance over, and there they are, watching you, not moving, not asking for anything, just looking. For a few seconds, it feels almost uncomfortable. Not because it's scary, because it's intimate, as if your dog sees something nobody else sees, as if they're looking beyond your face, beyond your smile, beyond your words, straight into who you really are. And maybe that's why so many dog owners say the same thing. My dog understands me. At first, it sounds ridiculous. After all, dogs don't speak English. They don't understand mortgages. They don't understand office politics. They don't understand heartbreak, or anxiety, or stress. At least that's what we tell ourselves. Yet somehow, when life gets difficult, many people turn to their dog before they turn to another person. Why? Because dogs have a strange ability to make us feel understood. Imagine this. You've had one of the worst days of your life. Nothing dramatic, just exhausting. The kind of day that slowly drains every ounce of energy from your body. The kind of day where every conversation feels difficult. Every task feels heavy. Every problem feels bigger than it should. You finally get home. You close the front door. You drop your keys, and for the first time all day, you allow yourself to breathe. Then you notice your dog, standing there, waiting, watching, excited to see you. But after the initial greeting, something changes. The excitement fades, and suddenly, your dog simply sits beside you. No barking, no jumping, no demands, just quiet company. Many dog owners have experienced moments like this. Moments that seem impossible to explain, because somehow, without a single word, your dog knew exactly what you needed. Scientists have spent years trying to understand why, and what they've discovered is remarkable. Dogs are constantly studying us. Every expression, every movement, every routine, every emotion. In many ways, your dog is an expert on you. Think about it. Your dog watches you every single day. They know what time you wake up. They know how you walk when you're happy. They know how you walk when you're tired. They know the sound of your footsteps, the sound of your car, the sound of your voice. Some dogs can even recognize the difference between their owner's happy laugh and nervous laugh. That means your dog isn't just living with you. They're learning you every single day. And the longer you live together, the more accurate that understanding becomes. Now imagine the world from your dog's perspective. You cannot read. You cannot use a phone. You cannot watch the news. You cannot ask questions. You cannot understand complex human conversations. How would you learn about someone? You would watch them constantly. Every glance, every gesture, every expression. That's exactly what dogs do. Their survival once depended on understanding humans, and over thousands of years, they became incredibly good at it. In fact, researchers have found that dogs are one of the few animal species that actively seek eye contact with humans. That may not sound impressive at first, but it's actually extraordinary. Most animals avoid prolonged eye contact. In nature, staring is often seen as a threat, a challenge, a warning, but dogs evolve differently. Somewhere along the journey of living beside humans, they learned something powerful. They learned that human eyes contain information, valuable information, information about safety, information about emotions, information about connection. And once dogs learned this, everything changed. Have you ever noticed how your dog reacts before you even say anything? Before you grab the leash? Before you call their name? Before you give a command? Sometimes they already know. It's almost like they're reading your mind. Of course, they're not reading your mind, but they are reading something. They're reading your body language, your facial expressions, your energy, and especially your eyes. Human eyes reveal emotions more clearly than almost any other part of the body. A slight narrowing, a brief glance away, a softening around the edges. Tiny details most people never notice, but dogs notice, because for them, those details matter a lot. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're sitting on the couch, you're scrolling through your phone. Suddenly, you receive bad news. Maybe it's a disappointing message. Maybe it's a stressful email. Maybe it's something personal. Your expression changes for only a second. A tiny shift, barely noticeable. Yet many dogs immediately react. They stop playing. They look at you. They move closer. Sometimes they place a paw on your leg. Sometimes they rest their head against you. Sometimes they simply sit nearby, as if they're saying, "I'm here." Nobody taught them that. No training class explains it. No command creates it. It comes from something much deeper. Connection. Real connection. And that's where the mystery becomes fascinating. Because your dog isn't just observing you, they're emotionally connected to you. The more bonded a dog becomes with its owner, the more attention it pays to that owner's face, especially the eyes. And that's why some dogs seem almost obsessed with looking at us. They're searching for information, searching for reassurance, searching for connection. Every glance becomes part of a conversation, a silent conversation, one that doesn't require words, one that doesn't require language. Only trust, only love, only attention. And perhaps that's why looking into a dog's eyes can feel so powerful, because in those moments, you realize something. Your dog doesn't care about your job title, your bank account, your social status, your mistakes, your failures, or the things you're worried about. They only care about you, the real you, the person who comes home every day, the person they chose to trust, the person they love more than anything else in the world. And yet, as incredible as this sounds, the most amazing part of the story is still ahead, because scientists discovered something that nobody expected, something happening inside your body and inside your dog's body every time your eyes meet, a hidden biological reaction, a powerful emotional connection, one so strong that it helps explain why the bond between humans and dogs feels unlike any other relationship on Earth. And once you understand it, the secret behind your dog's eyes will never seem mysterious again, because the real secret was never hidden in what your dog was looking at. The real secret was hidden in what your dog was feeling. The real secret was hidden in what your dog was feeling. And what scientists discovered next surprised everyone, because something remarkable happens every time a dog and its owner share eye contact, something invisible, something powerful, something neither of them can see, yet both of them can feel. Researchers studying the bond between humans and dogs made an unusual discovery. When a dog looks into the eyes of someone it trusts, the brain begins releasing a chemical called oxytocin. You may have heard of it before. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone, the bonding hormone, the connection hormone. It's the same chemical released between a mother and her baby, the same chemical involved in close human relationships, the same chemical that helps create feelings of trust, comfort, safety, and emotional connection. But here's the incredible part. The effect doesn't only happen inside the dog, it happens inside the human too. Both hearts, both brains, both lives, connected through a simple glance. Think about that for a moment. For thousands of years, humans searched for loyalty, for companionship, for friendship, and somehow, one animal evolved beside us in a way no other species ever did. Not because we taught them, not because we forced them, because they genuinely formed emotional bonds with us. Real bonds, powerful bonds, life-changing bonds. Maybe that's why people often describe their dog as family, not a pet, not an animal, family. Because deep down, that's exactly what they feel like. And perhaps you've experienced this yourself. A difficult season in life, a painful loss, a breakup, a period of loneliness, maybe even a moment when you felt like nobody truly understood what you were going through. Yet somehow your dog stayed, day after day, night after night, without judgment, without criticism, without expectations, just there, quietly, faithfully, loving you exactly as you were. And that's something surprisingly rare. Humans often love conditionally. We love success. We admire confidence. We celebrate achievement. But dogs love differently. They don't care if you had a bad day. They don't care if you made mistakes. They don't care if you're rich or poor, successful or struggling, popular or forgotten. To your dog, you are enough, exactly as you are. And maybe that's why their eyes can feel so emotional, because when they look at you, they aren't seeing your resume. They aren't seeing your failures. They aren't seeing the version of yourself you criticize every day. They're seeing their favorite person, the person who makes them feel safe, the person who makes their world make sense, the person they trust more than anyone else. Imagine your dog's life for a moment. Every morning begins with you. Every exciting moment is connected to you. Walks, meals, adventures, games, comfort, safety, home. Everything important leads back to one person, you. Now imagine how powerful that bond becomes after years together. 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, thousands of walks, thousands of greetings, thousands of shared moments, all quietly building trust, layer upon layer, memory upon memory, love upon love, until one day, your dog can recognize your mood before you even speak, can recognize your footsteps before you open the door, can recognize your car before it reaches the driveway, can recognize your presence before anyone else notices. That's not coincidence. That's connection. And connection leaves a mark. Not just on the dog, on us too. In fact, many people discover something unexpected when they become dog owners. They think they're rescuing a dog, but somewhere along the way, the dog rescues them. Not from danger, not from disaster, but from loneliness, from stress, from isolation, from the feeling of carrying life's burdens alone. Because every day, their dog reminds them of something simple, something important, something easy to forget. You matter. You are loved. You are not alone. And perhaps that's the message hidden inside those eyes. Not words, not thoughts, a feeling that remains the same every single day. Whether you're successful or struggling, whether you're happy or sad, whether the world feels bright or heavy, your dog keeps showing up, keeps loving, keeps trusting, keeps believing in you. And then one day, something changes. A few gray hairs appear around their face. Their muzzle becomes lighter. Their movements become slower. The zoomies don't last as long. The jumps become smaller. The naps become longer. And suddenly, you realize something painful. The dog who once followed you everywhere is getting older. Time is doing what time always does. Quietly, patiently, relentlessly. And that's when those eyes begin to mean even more. Because now, every look carries history. Years of memories. Years of trust. Years of unconditional love. One glance contains an entire lifetime. A lifetime that always feels too short. Every dog owner eventually reaches this realization. The days felt endless, but the years moved fast. Far too fast. One moment, they're a puppy. The next moment, they're resting beside you with a silver face and tired eyes. Yet even then, they still look at you the same way. The same trust, the same loyalty, the same love. Because to your dog, you never stopped being their person. You never stopped being their safe place. You never stopped being home. And maybe that is the real secret behind your dog's eyes. Not mystery, not magic, not something hidden, something simple, something beautiful. When your dog looks at you, they're not asking who you are. They already know. They're reminding you who you are. The person they trust, the person they love, the person they would choose again and again, every single day, for their entire life. And if we're lucky, maybe that's exactly what we need to hear. Because in a world that constantly judges us, compares us, and tells us we're not enough, a dog quietly looks into our eyes and says something completely different, without words, without language, without explanation, just through a glance. You are my favorite human. You are my family. You are my home. And I love you more than you'll ever know. So the next time your dog looks into your eyes, pause for a moment. Don't rush away. Don't reach for your phone. Just look back. Because behind those eyes is a story. A lifetime of trust. A lifetime of loyalty. A lifetime of love that asks for very little in return. Your dog may never tell you how much you mean to them. They may never say thank you for the walks, for the meals, for the warm bed, for the comfort you provide every single day. But if you pay attention, you'll see the message is already there. It's been there all along, hidden in every glance, every tail wag, every excited greeting at the door, every quiet moment sitting beside you. And perhaps the real secret behind your dog's eyes is that they aren't trying to tell you something complicated. They're telling you something beautifully simple. I trust you. I feel safe with you. You are my favorite person in the world. And for a dog, that is everything. If this story reminded you of your dog, leave A in the comments and tell us your dog's name, because every dog has a story worth sharing. We read as many comments as we can, and we'd love to hear about the special friend waiting for you at home. If you enjoyed this video and want more emotional stories that help you understand what your dog may be feeling, make sure to subscribe to DogMind Tales. Join our growing community of dog lovers who believe every bark, every glance, and every wagging tail has a story behind it. And remember, one day you'll wish for just one more look into those eyes. So treasure every moment while you can. We'll see you in the next story.